The Nifty Show.
Hey, this is Joel, and we got a treat for you today. I've invited the Nifty Chicks, Minty Cell and Jen FT, to come on and do a takeover of this podcast to talk about top 5 women-led projects. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Pay close attention because these ladies are on to some really good stuff. With no further ado, here's the Nifty Chicks.
Welcome to the Nifty Chicks. We're excited to be here on the Nifty Show today. You may know me. I used to be the producer for the Bad Crypto Podcast and the Nifty Show. I started out doing the social media for the Bad Crypto Podcast probably almost 5 years ago. And then I became the producer about 4 years ago, something like that. And then when the guys started getting into NFTs, I rolled my eyes a little bit, but then started to understand the importance of NFTs. And then I actually, once we moved to Puerto Rico, I met Jen FT here. And she is actually really, I was already kind of into NFTs, but she really helped me learn about more of the women-led projects and NFTs. So I thank her for that. And we decided to create the Nifty Chicks to help, bring more awareness to women to get into the space, to learn about NFTs, and really to help us learn more about all these women-led projects. So Jen FT, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about you, and then we're going to dive into 5 of our top favorite women-led projects.
That's right. So as Minty Cell had shared, I live in Puerto Rico, same community as she does. And so we got a chance to connect, and she actually exposed me to NFTs. I didn't know what an NFT really was before moving to Puerto Rico. And, my background is much more into traditional finance. I worked at very large investment advisory firms. And so for me, crypto and NFTs were not part of my everyday until moving to Puerto Rico. And I got to be welcomed by an incredible community here who, are heavily involved in NFTs and crypto. And so she and Joel Comm, the host of the Nifty Show, got a chance to sit me down and teach me the ropes of NFTs. That was, well over a year ago, almost a year and a half-ish. And ever since then, I've just been bitten by the NFT bug, and I absolutely love it. It just makes sense to me. Once it made sense to me, it made sense to me. And so I can't thank Joel and for Minty Cell to, introduce me to this world of NFTs, this crazy world of NFTs. And we have been at it ever since with the Nifty Chicks that we kicked off earlier this year, and we are having an absolute blast. So I am so excited to dive into these women-led projects because like Minty Cell said, we are on a mission to bring more women into the NFT space. And so these projects are super exciting because they're led by women and the community is full of women. And it's just very exciting and fun to be a part of the communities.
Yeah. So I say, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So this is, honestly, it's one of my very favorite projects. World of Women is one of the first female-led projects. And, before we started having this conversation or recording this podcast, we were kind of debating back and forth between each other of which came first. And it looks like there are 2 projects that came out within a week or so of each other. World of Women is one of them. Of course, Fame Ladies is the other. But only one of them was actually founded by women, and that's World of Women.
Yeah. They have the Fame Lady Squad have a super cool story, and we're going to dive into that, I think, into the future possibly. But what's really fascinating about World of Women is their ability to kind of right out of the gate position themselves as kind of like a blue chip women-led project. And they're just involving a lot of celebrities, a lot of money behind them to really kind of lead the charge as, a top level performing NFT project, such as like Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks. Right. World of Women is in the same dialogue as those other projects. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So World of Women was started July 27th, 2021, by the NFT artist. Her name is Yam Karkay. I'm not exactly sure I'm saying that correctly, but they were originally priced at 0.07 ETH, and we can go look on OpenSea. They lowest, or the floor right now is 2.11. So this project has really taken off. I think they've done some cool things with what they're doing. I don't know if you guys can see it in this video, but I have a WoW G. I don't have an actual WoW, which they did the WoWs are the original, the OG PFPs. And then I don't remember when the WoW Galaxies came out, but it's like, basically it's like season 2 of WoW. But really what they're building is, like it says here, it's an inclusive Web3 through its collection and community. They believe in giving back. They're really, just trying to bring more people into the space and educate and provide, true like benefits for being a part of the WoW community. I just recently got back from NFT London and went to a community-led event for WoW, which was an amazing event. And I just finished booking all my stuff to go to Art Basel and all the events that are going to be, around Art Basel. And WoW G is putting on a gala. That was a big part of my decision, because I don't know if you guys know or not, but WoW did an event at NFT NYC and they had Madonna. I mean, holy crap, they had Madonna.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's to me, WoW stands for not only just women in NFTs, but it's also incredible art. So, this was primarily a PFP project, right? So they released the art, and I would imagine they were just hoping for the best. And when the community really took off and the floor price took off with it, I think that's when they really started to transform their roadmap and the benefits that are included with the project. And you mentioned, Madonna being at NFT NYC, the WoW event at NFT NYC, and talk about incorporating A-list celebrities into this world of women and
Right.
world of NFTs. So not only do they have a lot of women celebrities that are promoting them, but also, that are involved in their events. And so I think it's just, they're doing it right. And we had an opportunity to speak with the community manager at WoW on the Nifty Chick show. Mm-hmm. And she's just working hard day in and day out to make sure that the community is heading in the right direction. And I think this is really just the beginning for WoW. Yeah.
She's great, Cash V. So definitely, if you guys are interested in learning more about that, you can find that show. It's theniftychicks.io/127. And we, like as Jen FT mentioned, we talked to Cash V about what WoW is doing. So should we go ahead and move on to number 2, which is one that I know you and I are both very big fans of, and that is Boss Beauties. I will let you start this one, just because you got into this at the very beginning. I came in a little bit later.
That's right. So I minted a Boss Beauty, and I was so excited. This was kind of fairly early on in my kind of NFT world. And what gravitated me towards the project was the art, number one. I just think it's got, some similarities to WoW, the prominent female characters there, but it also incorporated a lot of elements of real life kind of relatable aspects. So you'll notice that a lot of the Boss Beauties have various things like an astronaut. My Boss Beauty that I minted had an astronaut, suit on, and there's military, there's doctors, there's these women just really encompass all the badassery that comes with being a female. And so I was super intrigued by the story and by the art. And then, as I kind of dug into it further, I was just so in love with the team that's behind it. And we had an opportunity to meet the leader of this project, Lisa Myers, who at NFT NYC, and she's just a powerhouse, and she's just not stopping. One of the things that I really liked about this was the fact that they are the first NFTs to be displayed at the New York Stock Exchange. I have a traditional finance background. I get all tingly inside when I think about the New York Stock Exchange and being on the floor. And I tell you, like, seeing her NFTs, because we had an opportunity to go onto the floor, and seeing the opportunity to see these, hanging in the New York Stock Exchange was just powerful. So I think it's just an amazing thing what she's doing, what Lisa's doing as leading the charge here, and also the project itself, the community. I absolutely love this project.
Agreed. And I just have to mention this because I was on a panel at NFT London, and one of the things we were talking about is how we reach more women in this space. And this project came to mind, and you can see here, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can see it pop up that Boss Beauties has partnered with Barbie. And I think that this is such a great example of how women-led projects can help get more women into the space. Every little girl knows about Barbie. I know I had quite the collection of Barbies. And so this, to me, I think is such a great entry point for, girls and young women, older women to get into the space. And then there's also, the Super BBs that are going to be an animated cartoon. I just love this project. I love everything that Lisa Mayer's doing. I love the inspiration and the motto behind this, which is a woman can be anything she wants. So if you're interested, in learning more about Boss Beauties, they're bossbeauties.com. We have not had them on the show yet, but hopefully someday soon. Let's take a look at the Boss Beauties on OpenSea. So they're currently sitting at a 0.219 ETH. You can see, some of these different PFPs. As Jen FT mentioned, you've got a chef, you've got the astronaut, looks like a naval captain. There's just, so many different options. And I love the art here. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one we have, this is another one that Jen FT was very heavily involved in, Women Rise. You were actually a mod for them for a while. So why don't you give us a little bit of background about Women Rise and what drew you into that project?
Yeah. So when I first got into NFTs, I was really looking for projects that I could get in on the ground floor. Yes, getting into projects that had already launched and that were successful sounded great and all, but I didn't have the resources to go do that. So I was like, how do I get in on the ground floor of projects that I believe will then eventually skyrocket? So I came across Women Rise before the launch, and I had the opportunity of, as you mentioned, moderating on their Discord and really building a community. I want to say I was on Discord. I was like number 200 on their Discord community. So it was super, super early days. And the launch had been like months out. So we were talking like early stages. And all I was trying to do was be present in the community and make sure that, like, as the community shaped and evolved and grew, that like it was heading in the right direction. So I tried really hard to kind of participate in the community as much as I could. And so what really drew me to this was, not only was it an early stage and I just felt pretty confident on like with the timing of it, but also the art. I felt like the art was super colorful. We had only glimpses of what they were trying to do. They were releasing to us kind of glimpses of what it might look like. And I immediately, as soon as I saw the first preview, I was like, yes, I think this is going to be great. It's beautiful, it's colorful. I just love everything about the artwork. And then also Malia. So she is the founder of this project, and immediately her involvement in the community was so stellar and so, I mean, leading the charge here. And I felt so strong and confident about her. And that's what led me to be like, okay, I've really found a home here with this community. And so she took me under her wing, made me a mod, and just really, she's released a couple books. She's just an incredible and impressive human being. As just outside of the NFT project, she's just amazing. So I actually now have a couple of her books, which is amazing. It's all about women who have, paved the way for other women, future generations of women. And I think it's great between the art, between Malia, between kind of the community that she built. It's just a slam dunk for me.
Yeah. So let's, I just want to pull up Women Rise here on OpenSea and take a look. Oh, wow. You can get in at 0.07 ETH and just take a look at some of this art. And I actually have mine up there. So you can.
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So I own all of these projects except for the next one we're going to talk about, which is Deadfellas. And I keep looking. I almost did it. I almost pulled the trigger last night. I don't know why I like this, but I do. I know part of it is because of Betty, and we had the chance to meet Betty. So for those of you that don't know, a little bit of the story behind Deadfellas, I mean, honestly, before we met Betty and she became doxxed, I 100% thought that this was a male-led project. I would have never guessed that there was a female behind this, just based on, this artwork. And, the more I see it, when I first stumbled on this, I thought, oh, I'm not so sure about those. But the more I see them, the more I like them. So like I said, I keep going back and considering. I almost pulled the trigger last night. And JenFT, I know you mentioned you really like the Betty Pop horror.
Yeah, they're just so cool.
Super cool. Uh-huh.
I think what's interesting about this story is you have someone leading the charge, right, who has chosen to stay anonymous through the launch of Deadfellas. So she built a project. We did not know who was behind the project. And obviously the project did extremely well upon launch. And for her to then post-launch decide, okay, I'm going to reveal behind the curtain who's actually behind this project, and for it to be a female, I thought was so amazing. I just thought it was really interesting that she chose to do that, A, and B, like what the feedback from the community was going to be, because I'm sure that she thought about that too, right? And her response was, I never really intended to be anonymous. Like it just kind of went by fire and just happened. And so doxing was never really like it's something that she thought about, but until like she now has a successful launch and now she's got a choice to make. And so like for this project screams male to me. It just the artwork, the concept of Deadfellas, like Deadfellas, the whole thing just screams male to me. So when I found out that it was actually women led, I was like, that's badass. I love it. I think it's super cool. I am not an owner at this point, but I hope to be someday. I'm just excited about it. It's very cool.
Let's go see where they are at. So Flora right now, 0.849 ETH. I don't know, JenFT. I've been looking at this one was one of them. And there's another one I saw. It might be gone now. But one of the things that I really like about Deadfellas is the community. They have a very, very strong community. And from what I've heard, obviously I haven't been because I'm not an owner, but from what I've heard, they throw amazing parties. And I know they just had a party at NFT LA or some event in LA. And I know they had a killer party at NFT NYC. And they're just doing cool shit. They did just have a partnership with Ledger that they did a drop if you owned the Ledger Black Genesis. I'm not exactly sure what the name is, but if you had that. Then they did a partnership and did a drop to everybody who owned that. So I got one of those. Yay.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and we actually had Betty on our show. It was the niftychicks.io/80. If you want to go learn more about Dead Fellas and Betty and the story behind the Dead Fellas. So let's go ahead and move on to Stoner Cats, which I love this project. I love everything that they've done. It's so fun. And we had the opportunity to get connected with them and have them on the Nifty Chicks show. So for those of you that don't know, basically you own a Stoner Cat, which I've got mine right there. And it gives you access to their episodes as they release. And I believe they're on episode 6 right now. And they're like, it's basically a short cartoon about stoner cats. And they're hilarious and super fun. And the team that created it, guess what? Women.
Yeah. I absolutely love this project. One of the things that I think is cool is like, this is essentially the power of utility that comes with NFTs, right? So, we've been talking a lot about these profile picture projects, giving you access to certain events and whatnot, which is super cool. The utility of this is unique, right? This takes it to the next level. This is television 2.0. Where access to specific episodes is only given and granted to people who are holders. And so I think it's just like the next level of kind of forward-thinking TV style. And they also have looped in some incredible celebrities. Mila Kunis is behind this project. And I have nothing but utmost respect for her as an individual, but also what she's done for herself and her life. And so I think it's just like, it's cool. If you're a holder, you get access to these episodes. If you're not a holder, you don't have access to these episodes. Like it just takes that utility next level, which is super cool.
Yeah. I agree. And just a funny little side note. And again, if you want to go listen to our episode about this, but so initially they had 10,420, makes sense, right? 420 for stoner cats, but somebody burned one. So now there are only 10,419 stoner cats, which the team just thinks it's hilarious because, they did that on purpose and then somebody burned it because they were mad about something and they think it's hilarious. So you can currently get in on Stoner Cats at 0.087 ETH, which is, in my opinion, totally worth it just to get access to see the episodes. And like I said, they're really funny. And we didn't even mention Jane Fonda is a part of this project as well. And that's a whole other story about her and crypto and NFTs and, coming into this project. Yeah. So definitely you'll want to go listen to that episode. And that is the niftychicks.io/98. And of course, all those links will be in the show notes for this The Nifty Show episode. And I just want to say thank you guys for letting us take over the Nifty Show today. We would sure love it if you guys would give us a follow. You can find us at The Nifty Chicks. That's The Nifty, NIFTY Chicks, CHICKS. And Jen FT, we always end our show a certain way. Do you want to go ahead and take us out?
That's right. So first of all, thank you to The Nifty Show for having us join you today, as well as thank you all for listening to The Nifty Chicks through The Nifty Show. Always remember, invest in yourself. You are worth it.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Zach are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Zach say this will blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go. It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty.